So we are going to go over this exercise pack that I sent you guys. So the first part is we need to compare the numbers that are given. Okay, so this comma over here, it's not to show you that it's decimals, it's just to show you that it's actually 1,000. So it's 53,959. So if we look at this first one, if we look here at this first one, which number is the biggest? Afanolo, are you going to help me? Please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so which number is the biggest? The 53,958 or the 55,508?
The 53,958.
Is that the bigger number?
Yes. No.
Okay, no, remember, it is the smaller number. So you can start by checking. You can start with your units, okay? So this unit is an 8 and this unit is an 8, so they're the same, okay? Then you go over to your tens. Here my 10 is a 0, but here my 10 is a 5, so this one is now bigger, okay? Then we go to our hundreds. There's your 9 and there's a 5, so the 900 is bigger than your 500. But then we get to our thousands, okay? And our thousands is this one bigger, and this is 55,000. So it is 55,000 is bigger than the 53, and it points towards the small one, and it's open towards the big number. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ria. Ria Fana, are you going to help me with the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's look at this one. Number 5. Which number is bigger?
Ma'am, it's 29,421.
Okay, 29,000 is bigger than the 27,000. So we draw it like that. Okay, thank you. Now, if we carry on, because this is nice and easy, and there's your answers. Now we're carrying on to rounding. Okay. So if we look at the rounding, our first step will be that we are going to underline our 1,000 because it tells us we need to round to our nearest 1,000. And we are going to circle our 100. Okay, because the one to the right of the number that you are rounding to, that is the number that is going to help you either keep it the same or make it one bigger. Okay, so this 2. Now you're going to ask yourself, is this 2 4 and smaller, or is it 5 and bigger? If it's 4 and smaller, your 1,000 stays the same. If it's 5 and bigger, your 1,000 becomes 1 bigger. Okay, so this 2 is 4 and smaller. It lies between 0 and 4 if you look on your number line. So therefore, this is going to be 5,000. Okay, if we look at the next number, we underline our 1,000 because that's the number we are rounding to, and we circle our 100. Okay, now this 100 is 5 and bigger on our number line. Okay, it lies between 5 and 10, so it's 5 and bigger. That means that this 1,000 is not going to stay 4,000, it's going to become 5,000 because it becomes one bigger. Okay, now let's ask someone to help me. Who is going to help me? Reagile, are you going to help me? Okay, just unmute yourself. Are you able to unmute you? Okay, let's ask someone else while we wait. Biopelo. Biopelo. Are you going to help me with this one, number 4?
Yes, ma'am. The answer is going to be 3,000.
Okay, the answer is going to be 3,000. Well done. Okay, so you had to underline your 1,000 because that's what you're rounding to, and you circle your 100. Okay, the 1 is 4 and smaller, meaning our 1,000 stays the same. Okay, and that is 3,000. Well done, thank you. Ria? Riafana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you want to do the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do number 9 for me.
Ma'am, the answer is going to be 3,000.
Okay, so my answer is going to be 3,000. If we underline our 1,000 and circle our 10, our 100, the 9 is 5 and bigger, so our 1,000 changes and becomes 1 more. Okay, thank you. Now, let's carry on. So the next part, so here's all the answers, and the next part is adding. Okay, adding by using the stacking method or the column method. Okay, so we start by adding our units, then our tens, then our hundreds, and then our thousands. So 5 plus nothing gives me 5. 9 plus 8 gives me 17, and my 1 carries over. 7 plus 7 gives me 14, plus the 1 gives me 15, and the 1 carries over. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus the 1 gives me 15. Okay, so who is going to do the next one? Who is Galaxy A30? Are you all going to help me?
It's me, ma'am. Bonolo.
Hello, Bonolo.
Hi,
Okay,
ma'am.
are you going to do this one for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I am waiting.
So, we're gonna say 6 plus 9, which is 15,
Yes.
and then we're gonna put the 5 and then carry the 1 over.
Okay.
Then we're gonna say 1 plus 1 is 2, and then plus 8 is 10.
Okay.
Put the 0 and carry the 1 over.
Okay.
Then we're gonna say 1 plus 2, which is 3, and 3 plus 3 is 6.
Perfect. And then?
9 plus 8 is 17. So we're just gonna write it.
Okay. How do we say this number?
17,605.
Perfect. Thank you, Bonolo. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do this one. Okay. Pelo, are you gonna help me again? Ooh. Hello? I don't think Ria, help me with this one. Ria Fana.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, it's going to be 4 because 7 plus 7 is going to be 14, and then you add the 1 over there at the top.
Carry the 1 over. Yes.
And then you add those two, and then you say 1 plus 3 is going to be 4 plus 1 is going to be 5.
Okay, perfect. And then?
And then the answer, and then the next one is going to be 8 because 3 plus 5 equals 8.
Okay.
And then the last one is going to be 7. No, it's going to be 12 because 7 plus 5 is 12.
Perfect. Okay.
And then the answer altogether is going to be 12,854.
Perfect. Thank you, Ria Fana. Okay, so you guys got the adding part. Now the minus one, the one where we subtract. Okay, so when we subtract, you also start from your units and you go over to your thousands. So it's 5 minus nothing leaves us with 5. 6 minus 5 gives us 1. 5 minus 1 gives us 4. And 8 minus 2 gives us 6. Okay. Lachmanolo, quickly help me with this one. Okay, quickly help me with this one.
If we say 8 minus 3,
Yes.
it's gonna be 5.
Okay.
And then 4 minus 3, 1.
Gives us 1.
Yes, ma'am.
And then
Then 2 minus 1, it's 1.
2 minus 1 gives us 1. And
And then 3 minus 2, it gives us 1.
also gives us 1. So what's our answer? What is our answer?
1,115.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so the minus 1 is also nice and easy. And then we carry on to the multiplying of 2 digits. Okay, so you need to remember that you take your unit multiplier, the 7, and you multiply it with both numbers at the top. Then you put down your 0 for the place of the 10 to show that this one is not a 1 but actually a 10. And then you multiply your 10 multiplier with all the numbers at the top. So you're going to get 2 answers over here. Then you're going to add them together. So if we quickly do this one, 7 times 7 gives you 49. And then you carry over the 4, but you are going to add it later. So you're going to say 2 times 7 gives us 14. And then you're going to add the 4, so that leaves us with 18. Okay, so that's our first answer when we multiplied with the unit multiplier. Now we're going to multiply with our 10 multiplier, but we first need to put down our 0. And then we're going to say 1 times 7, and that gives us 7. And 1 times 2 gives us 2. Then we're going to add it together. 9 plus nothing gives us 9. 8 plus 7 gives us 15. Carry the 1 over. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4. So our answer is 459. Okay, now one of you are going to do it for me. Bonolo, quickly help me with let's do this one.
Which one, ma'am? Okay. We're gonna say 6 times 2,
Yes,
which is 12.
yes.
And then we're gonna carry our 1 over to the 3.
Okay, so we're carrying our 1 over.
And then we're gonna say what do you call this? 6 times 3.
You are skipping a step. Remember, it is 6 times 2 gives us 12. Then we have to take 3 times 2, and that gives us?
Oh, 3 times 2 gives us 6.
Plus the one that we carried over, and that gives us?
7.
7. Then what do we do?
And then we're gonna say what do you call this? We're gonna say 72. Wait, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, we're gonna put our 0 there, and then we're gonna say, oh, ma'am, I forgot this.
Remember, you take your unit multiplier and you multiply at the top. Then you put down your 0. Then you take your 10 multiplier and you multiply at the top. So what is 3 times 6?
3 times 6 is 18.
It is 18. So you write down our 8 and the 1 is carried over. Then we say 3 times 3
is 9.
and then we plus the 1 that we carried over, and that gives us
10.
okay, and then we write down our 10. And then what's the last step?
Then we're gonna add them together.
Okay, so 2 plus nothing
We're
gives
gonna 2.
yes.
Then 7 plus 8 gives us 15.
Yes.
Then we're gonna carry our 1 over.
Okay. And then?
1 plus 0 is 1.
Yes.
And then 1 plus nothing is 1.
So on. So what's my answer?
1152.
1162. Well done, Bonolo. 52, sorry. Okay, Bepelo. Are you going to do, let's see. Let's do this one.
Yes.
So how do we do this one?
3 times 0 equals to 3.
Are you sure about that?
0 and 0.
Yes. Okay. And then, what do we do then?
1 times 5, ma'am.
1 times 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Nope. You're missing a few steps. Okay, remember you take this number, your unit multiplier, and you multiply it with both numbers at the top. So 0 times 1 also gives you 0. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you put down your 0 to show that you're done multiplying with a 0, and to show you that this 5 is actually a 10. So that 0 is from the 50. Okay. Then we take our 10 multiplier and we multiply it with both numbers at the top. So what is 5 times 3?
5 times 3. 15.
It is 15. Okay, and then we carry over 1. What is 1 times 5?
5.
1 times 5 gives you 5, plus the 1 that we carried over, and that gives us what?
7.
It gives us 6. Okay, then we need to add these two numbers together. So then we get 0 plus 0, and that gives us
0.
0. And then we get 0 plus 5, and that gives us
0.
no
5.
And then we get nothing plus 6, and that gives us
6.
okay. Got that?
Isn't it?
Okay, good. Let's do one more. Ria, let's do this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do this one for me.
So, ma'am, you're going to say 5 times 8,
Yes,
and it's going to be 40.
40. So what do we write down here at the bottom?
0.
0. And what do we carry over?
The 4.
Okay, what's next?
And then you say 5 times 4
Yes.
is going to be 20.
Okay.
Plus 4 is going to be 24.
Okay. What's our next very important step?
You add a 0.
Add our 0. Okay, and then?
You say 2 times 8 is going to be 16. So you put the 6 and then you take your 1. And then you say 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9.
Okay, and then what do we do then?
We add.
We add. Okay, and what's our answer?
0.
Yes.
10, you add a 0 at the bottom and take your 1 above the 2.
Yes.
And then you say 3 plus 9 is 12.
Okay, so what's my answer?
1,200.
1,200. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ria. Now we carry on to something you guys all love, and that is long division. Okay, so guys, remember your steps. Okay, remember you first divide, then you multiply, then you subtract, then you bring down, and then you start over again. Okay, so if we start with, let's look at this one. Okay, so you ask yourself, how many times can 6 go into 1? Okay, or you say 1 divided by 6. 1 is smaller than 6, so 6 cannot go into 1. So we put a dot here at the top of 1. Okay, then we look at 17. How many times does 6 go into 17? So if you count, it is 6, 12, 18. 18 is too big, so we are looking at twice. 6 goes into 17 twice. Okay, then we multiply. Then we say 6 times 2, and that gives us 12. Our next step is we subtract. Okay, so 7 minus 2 gives us 5, and 1 minus 1 gives us nothing. And then we bring down our next number, which is 8. Now we are looking at 58. So how many times does 6 go into 58? Okay, and that is 9 times. Then we say 6 times 9, and that gives us 54. Okay. 58 minus 54 leaves us with 4. And then we bring down our next number. So that is 4. And now we are busy with 44. 6 goes into 44, or you can say 44 divided by 6, and that gives us 7. 6 times 7 gives us 42. Then we subtract. 44 minus 42 leaves us 2. There's no other number left to bring down, so this 2 is now our remainder. Okay. All understand? Ria, do you have a question for me or do you want to do one?
I want to do one.
Okay, do this one next to it. Before we
Excuse me, ma'am.
do this one.
Oh, so it's going to be, how many times does 2 go into 4? So it's going to be 2, because 2 times 2. So you multiply 2 times 2 is going to be 4.
Yes.
And then you subtract.
Okay, and what are we left with?
Nothing.
We're left with 0. What's our next step?
You bring down the next number.
And what is that?
5.
Okay.
And then you again say 2 because 5 cannot go into 2. So you say 2 at the top.
2 goes into 5 twice.
2.
That's why we say the 2 at the top. And then?
2 times 2 is 4.
Okay. And then?
And then you subtract.
Then we subtract and we are left with?
1.
We're left with 1. And then we bring down our next number. And what number are we looking at now?
15.
Okay, and how many times does 2 go into 15?
7 times.
7 times. And 2 times 7 gives us?
14.
Okay, what's left?
You subtract.
Yes.
And then you minus. No, and then you get the answer 1.
Okay, and what is this one?
The remainder.
Okay, so 1 is our new remainder. Okay, so guys, if you did not understand the long division and you forgot some of the steps, please go over them this afternoon and go over all the other exercises that you also didn't understand. And then tomorrow we will be continuing at 10 again with this exercise. Okay, thank you guys.